So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First, let me introduce the most powerful droid, the leader of the most powerful droid army in the galaxy, General Grievous. And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Finally making his debut in Battlefront after all these years. But we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord and leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku, as well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things. EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build. There would be no Battlefront without you.
Hey guys, what's up? Cookie and Swanee here with another podcast, and for the first time in a long time, we've got some happy news for all of you wonderful people out there about the EA Play Conference. There was a ton of stuff to unpack, so we're going to unpack it piece by piece. We're going to start with what by all obvious means is the biggest deal that came out of EA Play, and that's that Clone Wars content is finally confirmed. It is coming. It has been announced for this fall. And we got a couple of specifics, and we're going to talk about all of that. Let's start with what I think is the biggest part of this, Swanee, which is that they announced not just 2 heroes, which was already pretty great, of Obi-Wan and General Grievous. They announced 4 heroes, because Anakin Skywalker and Count Dooku are also coming this fall in this Clone Wars season. 4 heroes. Which is pretty amazing. Tell me what you think there.
It's pretty freaking great. I expected a minimum of maybe 2 heroes because I mean my standards are obviously pretty low. But I mean, they said that we're getting Geonosis, which is the biggest map they're going to have in the game, and then they said that we get those heroes, and I mean, yeah, we haven't had good news about this game since the game basically came out. And, I mean, we're getting a huge map, 4 new heroes. We're probably going to get new skins because, I mean, obviously they need skins to make money off microtransactions. So we can expect new skins. They announced quite a few game modes. The only negative side to this is that they announced all these game modes. Because, like I've said before, these game modes is kind of a problem because they have so many. And now they announced, what, 2 more? 2 or 3 more?
They announced at least 2. I think... Okay, well, I know they announced this new Hero Starfighter thing, which is supposed to come out, I think, this summer. Which sounds pretty interesting because it's like Hero Showdown, except it's going to be 4-on-4 instead of 2v2. And the other major difference is that once you die as a Hero Starfighter, you spawn in as a normal fighter. So it keeps going. So it's not like you just have to spectate the rest of the time.
This game,
you keep trying to kill the Hero Starfighters.
Okay, it sounds good on paper,
cool.
But we all know how Starfighter Assault is. What happens when 2 people die, and then it comes down to the final 2 people, and they just spin in circles nonstop for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, this is the potential problem of this.
That's the only
because
downside
Starfighter Assault,
really
the only way, because the dogfighting in Starfighter Assault is dog shit. It just does not work. So that could technically be the biggest problem they could have with this Hero Starfighter mode. But, I mean, I'm just happy they're doing something with that mode because I still think it's really fun. It's just something, but it's not very popular. So that could be interesting,
The downside is that they keep splitting the player base over and over and over. Like, they have Ewok Hunt and Jetpack Cargo and Hero Showdown and Heroes vs. Villains and Strike and Blast.
And Extraction is now
Extraction.
Here.
And then they're going to add these 2 new game modes. And then they have Galactic Assault. And they have all these different game modes. And you're going to try to search for something, and you're not going to find that many people playing. Like, obviously, they're going to bring back people with the hype of these heroes and stuff. But that many game modes, plus the campaign, plus arcade, the player base is split widely across all this stuff. Like, they have to make Jetpack Cargo and Extraction and stuff like this. They have to make them, like, limited time things, because you can't have that many game modes.
which I think would be really, really cool. And it would be a great idea for EA because they could keep promoting it as like, hey, look, new thing this week. Hey, look, new thing this week. And it gets people's attention like, ooh, I like Ewok Hunt. I'll play. That kind of stuff works, too. It's like a really good idea. My problem with Ewok Hunt when they initially said it was a limited game mode was I thought they'd be limited and they'd never bring it back. If you just keep bringing it back over and over again, I think people will come back for that kind of stuff. So it would be a really good idea if they do it that way. However, if they don't, you're absolutely right. It's going to really screw up the player base, just like the first Battlefront did.
I know.
So
that's what they originally said at launch, was that they wanted to avoid so many. That's why they only had no 5 season game pass. Modes. They didn't want to separate the player base. And now they're separating the player base with all these game modes. It's kind of a double-edged sword because they're going to give us some sort of conquest mode, where they said, didn't they say something where you could like battle giant ships?
Let me tell you exactly. Well, that's a different mode that Dennis seemed to be talking about, which I haven't seen anything else about that other than what Dennis said on stage. But that sounds like a Starfighter Assault mode where you actually get to go on the capital ships like you did in the original Battlefront 2.
Is there going to be a third game mode?
That's what it sounds like.
Or is that just
sounds like
Conquest mode?
That doesn't sound like the Hero Starfighter mode at all, or the Conquest mode, because both of those, according to Battlefront 2's website, I'm trying to find exactly what they say about that Conquest mode. But they say it's going to be, let me see here. Okay, they're introducing a non-linear, larger scale mode where players battle for control of objectives around the map. That doesn't sound like it's going to involve starfighters. So that sounds like the Conquest we've come to know and love in the first Battlefront, original Battlefront 2 and original Battlefront, where you're just capturing command posts, which would be great. That would be outstanding. But again, that sounds like that would be 3 game modes then, because it sounds like Dennis is talking about something where you're going on capital ships, unless they're adding that to Starfighter Assault, which would be really cool and a really good idea. So I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with what Dennis was talking about.
If they had a third game mode,
I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Even more, because a lot of people play Galactic Assault. That's like the main mode. If they have this Conquest mode, a lot of people want to play Conquest. So is that going to split it even more? Like nobody plays Galactic Assault?
Yeah, that could be a huge problem. This is going to
end up being a problem, especially in the later months, like towards
it's
the death of the game.
See, like, the thing that Dennis is talking about, if they add that to Starfighter Assault somehow, which I don't know exactly how they do that, but if they do that,
Starfighter Assault?
That would be great, because Starfighter Assault needs revamped anyway, and if they do that, that would bring people back to that game mode, and then they don't have to add a new game mode. As for Conquest, I don't see how Conquest could be a limited game mode, because that's like...
No, it can't.
I'd just get rid of Strike and throw Conquest as another game mode. That's what I would do personally, but
these smaller game modes.
I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, there's too many game modes, and a lot of them don't have that high a payout.
That could be difficult.
Credits, but I mean, who knows?
That's something they could easily fix that though.
But the hype's going to come back, obviously, with these heroes. The heroes is a big thing, but they haven't said anything about blasters or star cards or any of that stuff. So I would if anything that they didn't announce, I wouldn't really expect. Other than skins, I mean, you got to keep your standards low now. Like they obviously, this is good news, but don't go expecting everything that we want. Because
this brings us.
The hero designer said that star cards are hard to make.
Yeah, this kind of brings us back to that same thing we keep asking. Are they learning something here? Because they keep talking about this is now they're talking about transparency. A roadmap apparently is coming at the end of this month.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Which is a big deal and something people have been asking for forever. Like, is EA actually we never trust EA. You can't trust EA. But they keep playing this off as, hey, we are fixing our earlier mistakes and now we're moving forward. Are they actually moving forward now, or are they going to keep giving us crap content? Is this finally their move towards giving us a legitimate game?
I don't know. They said they broke the dam of content way back at the progression system, and look how much we've gotten this far. I mean, we can't let the past 7-8 months just brush it under the rug and forget.
I think it's okay to be happy.
Oh no, but this is great news.
Got to keep some skepticism around. Oh yeah, the 4 heroes, they would have to flat out lie to not give it. flat out lie. Because they have confirmed that is coming this fall. They would have to completely just flat out lie to not give us that.
Oh, yeah, and there's a new
That's it.
partner system that we forgot to announce.
Yeah, they're trying some kind of new squad system because squad system now is worthless.
That's pretty bad.
I'm very curious what that will be because I don't know how they can really make the squad system way better. I guess almost anything would make it better.
It sounds like it's going to be like a completely new game come fall. Like they're going to be changing so much stuff to it.
Which is great because it sounds fine to me.
It sounds like they're getting extra funds for this game or something, which doesn't make too much sense because at the rate that they release their patches, like once a month or once every 2 weeks, and then they break something, and then we have to wait like another month to get it fixed. I don't know how they're going to change that.
Okay. Let me throw you a very positive, however, semi-realistic thought. What if their whole plan was after the terrible release in November, they're like, all right, look, there's one chance to salvage this game. What if we jump off all the hype of the whole EA Play E3 time period, which is right now, in early June when everybody's looking for all these games and stuff? What if we basically almost do a full relaunch of this game and just try and revive it with one big, one big thrust here in June? What if that was their whole plan? They limited the content, or stockpiled it a little bit. Is it possible that that's what's going on here? That's very, very positive thinking.
Well, you got to look at it this way. There's not going to be another Star Wars game till next fall, and that could get delayed. So we're not going to see that Respawn's game until...
Well, next winter, actually, because I think you said holiday 2019, so that should be around Christmas.
Winter, probably around November.
Winter. Yeah.
Which they didn't give us much info on that. They just said it's about a Jedi in between episodes 3
Well, that's a
and 4.
whole other thing. It's a whole other thing we could talk about.
So they have to hold off Star Wars fans until then. So they obviously have to do something with this game. But...
Yeah, Battlefront 1 had like 2 years of content on and off. Well, kind of. I guess they stopped for that last year. So it's more like a year and a half of content.
I guess.
So, I mean, it's
once they
possible.
have that roadmap, everything's set in stone. If they fall off of that roadmap, people are like, hey, what the hell? Why are you guys screwing up? Like, because once that roadmap's released, it's set. Like, we can expect patch now, update now, this season will be here.
That's why people wanted the roadmap, because they don't want to go off this vague statements from EA anymore. They want set in, what are you doing? When is it coming out? What can we expect? What can we plan on? That's what makes roadmaps obviously such a big deal. So if they're finally giving a roadmap, it sounds like they're done with this vague soon crap. We might actually get that stuff when we expect to get that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big move for EA because it's completely different than what they've done the last 6 months, which has just been just a bunch of talk. There's no,
Plus,
they're not actually announcing anything.
We get the rest of the solo season Tuesday. So we get...
Yeah, there's a decent amount of content there.
So we get some content on
obviously
Tuesday.
Lower than hoped, but
and now
still
that
something.
with this new game mode and stuff, that new L3 Falcon isn't really that pointless anymore because now you get an extra ship.
Well... The problem with that is there's more hero starfighters than villain starfighters again.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't really know what they're doing.
They could
there.
maybe add Grievous ship, or maybe
Grievous
ship, which I don't know how that would work.
Well, he had that Geonosis ship that would be kind of cool, I guess.
I don't think that would work in space.
Compared well, he had to shoot a giant parachute thing up to fly in space. So I don't know how that would that's gonna work. But I don't know. That's a whole other story. But it's a lot of stuff. And I mean, Conquest, they didn't completely say Conquest, which it makes me kind of skeptical about it. But it really sounds like skeptical. It really sounds like Conquest. Because a non-linear game mode with objective-based stuff that people have been asking for, how is that not Conquest?
It's going to
be
at
else have they
least
been
very
asking for?
Similar to Conquest. I just hope it's not like Supremacy in the first game in 2015. Because that didn't...
Yeah, that would suck.
That didn't go very well. That was their trying to spin on Conquest, and
maybe
now
instead of like capturing command posts, you're actually doing something at all the command posts. Maybe, like maybe you're like trying to do something specific at each command post to take it instead of just sitting there and taking it. And then some of them maybe that is all you're doing. Some of them you're like trying to defuse a bomb. Maybe they're just trying to make it like Conquest, but a little more creative, which I'd be okay with. I think that sounds kind of cool.
The maps
if they
are
do
too
it that
big.
way.
They're all set up linear. Like imagine Kashyyyk. Like you can't have one conquest like or outpost at like the beach, and then one of them in the freaking clone trooper ship, like in the. Like you know what I'm talking at the end of the map.
Perfectly fine with that.
There's only
That'd be epic as balls. I don't know if they can do that graphically.
You're forgetting there's only 20 players on each team. If they're that far apart from each other, you'd see maybe 4 people at the beach and like 2 people clear at the other side of the map. It just wouldn't work with 20v20. The maps are too big. Like in the original Battlefront, the maps were maybe a fourth of the size of what they are now. And you can't do that with 20v20. You won't see hardly anybody the entire match. They will have to shorten the map
to increase the players a little bit.
Well, they're not going to do that. They'd have to rechange their entire server setup. They'd probably just shorten the map, I would imagine. Which I would be okay with.
Maybe, but I hope it's not too significantly shortened. Like if they take off like a third of it or something, I think I'd be okay with it. If they take off and make it like a blast map, that would suck. Like I don't want them to go that far.
It would have to be like double the size.
I hope it's still a big map.
But I mean, imagine Hoth. You'd have people outside, and then you'd have people inside, and then even in the last phase of Galactic Assault, you can't find some people because they're like hiding around walls and corners, and there's different obstacles and stuff you can hide behind. If you have like some people hiding in the caves and some people hiding in the hangar, and then other people are outside, you can go probably the whole match without seeing almost anybody because the map's just too big.
There's a lot of patches and updates they would have to do, which we have seen they haven't done, which is another thing that's a big question mark. Are they going to start doing patches and updates more often? Because that's been a huge problem of theirs in the first 6 months, is you can't break something and leave it there for a month, which they've done.
Something
over and
has
over.
broken literally every single patch that they have had. Something is broken. They've broken Darth Maul 3 different times. Last patch they broke Palpatine.
They broke
and then
that heavy DC-15 was broken.
The heavy was broken for over a month.
Supercharged Sentry was kind of broken from launch. That's a different problem.
There's been something break every single patch. So they definitely either need to have way more frequent patches, at least every 2 weeks, or do some sort of hot fix. Like, say Palpatine's broken, they do a hot fix the next day, and they're like, sorry about that. He's fixed now. That's what
and that's understandable. Things break. What's not understandable is not fixing them.
Waiting till the next content drop to fix it.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Palpatine was broken, I knew we wouldn't get him fixed until Solo season came out. Because they're just not gonna to like waste the resources, I guess, to do that. I don't know. But there's a lot to take in.
We'll see if this is like EA's big, we're doing things differently thing. Because they already gave us that crap once when Battlefront 2 came out. They're like, hey, we're different now. And then they did something else scummy, or even scummier than they did in the
People
first
are
one.
going to think we're being negative just because we're bringing up this stuff. But we're both pretty excited.
People are also going to think we're being too positive. So we'll get both sides of that.
That's kind of true. I don't know. We say how it is. We give both sides of the thing. This is great news. But based off their past performance, you can't expect everything. Like, we should be getting droidicas. We should be getting that Sentinel class that they teased forever ago. There's tons of stuff that we should be getting in the next few months. Are we going to get it?
Yeah.
We still haven't gotten any new blasters. Haven't gotten any new star cards since launch. We haven't gotten any vehicles.
Tons.
Oh, they're probably counting this Starfighter stuff as vehicles.
Sure.
That's
we haven't gotten any new vehicles.
Never mind. Dang it.
Let's be honest. We haven't.
It's a broad term.
Let's keep it.
The Falcon is a vehicle. Dang it.
We got one map.
Well,
Kessel. That's
it. Geonosis, but
well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
They can't really get past Geonosis now. So we'll see. All I'm saying is there is a chance. There's just a chance.
We'll probably get some old
there's
2015 maps sprinkled in too.
Yeah, and that's fine. As long as they keep new content coming, I don't care if they sprinkle in old stuff. But if that's all they're sprinkling in, then
But
that's not okay.
They can't add any more game modes other than these ones they announced. If they're like, all right, in between season 2 and 3, we're having this special unique game mode where you can combine Ewoks and I don't know, Rancors. It's just some kind of random game mode.
Pretty cool. Ewoks versus Rancors.
They just can't
Rancors just eat all the Ewoks.
They can't afford to split the player base anymore with these game modes. It's going to really kill the game long term.
It's going to be very, very critical.
If you play this game late in the mornings, it's like some of the lobbies don't fill up, which that problem came with Battlefront 15 like a year and a half after the game was out. And this game's seeing that problem now. So, I mean, the more game modes, the worse off it's going to be.
It's also going to be really interesting to see if Clone Wars and this stuff brings people back. We've talked about that a lot, too, of this whole idea of, like, you know, if and when they announce Clone Wars, how big of an impact is that going to have? I think it's going to bring some people back, but as I said before, they already missed their opportunity to be a really, really big. Like,
if they would announce this in, like, January or February,
March.
Oh yeah, it would have been great. But a year after launch, it's kind of. I think most of the damage.
They waited too long.
Most
but
of
I
the
do
people
think
that still play the game
it'll be a bit of a revival.
Come back to it, but most of the general public is still going to say, "Screw it! I don't want to." The game's already screwed me over. I don't want to spend money on it.
I do think they'll bring back a decent bit of Star Wars fans, like real, legit Star Wars fans. But yeah, I think the general public that was kind of into Star Wars is not going to care about this. They already missed that opportunity. But I do think it will make a big difference. But I don't think it'll bring back enough people to make up for the splitting of a player base if they don't find a good way to integrate all these new modes. But we shall wait and see.
I'm hoping that enough people come back that they really put an emphasis on skins. We could just get a crap ton of cool skins.
I definitely expect that because that's where they got to make most of their money. So we should be getting an unbelievable amount of skins. That's my prediction.
I am perfectly fine with all the skins in the world. The more skins, the better. It gives me something.
More skins, the merrier.
Because late game, you have nothing to grind for. Like I have nothing left to do except level up my Starfighter stuff, and I don't play Starfighter Assault, so I don't really care. So I need skins to grind for, and a lot of people that still play this game have been level 50 for forever, so they need skins to grind for.
Yeah. So there's a lot for us to see. A lot to still unpack. We'll still have more videos about this kind of stuff, but we wanted to give you guys a general overview of our thoughts on what we heard today from EA Play and some of the stuff we see on Battlefront 2's website and stuff right now. So it's exciting times. It's the most exciting we've probably been since launch. So it's at least we can be happy on that. Plenty of skepticism still to be had. Watch out for a bunch of new videos soon, guys, because there's so much more to talk about. Han Solo Season is launching in a couple days, or Han Solo Season Part 2 is launching in a couple days as well, so expect a lot of talk about that. Lots of cool stuff. Good to see something happen in the community. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and we shall talk to you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We would be honored if you would join us. You cannot resist